Hey everyone and welcome to the channel. My name is Ash and I am back with another sort of review roundup video. Now in this video I'm going to be looking at 4 different games that I've been playing recently, giving you my sort of thoughts on them, but I just want to give a quick shout out before we start to the Addams Family Mansion Mayhem on Xbox. Now this is a fun little 4-player co-op game. We basically play as the Addams family as they're shrunk in their sort of mansion, and you go through a variety of different levels sort of themed on the different areas. Now it's a fun little game. I'd previously covered it on the channel on PC solo, but the other week I played through a good chunk of it on the Xbox with my kids and my missus, and we had a good lot of fun. So I'll not be doing a full review video for it, but I highly recommend it if you can pick it up on the Xbox. You've got kids, like I say, it's one of those sort of semi top-down platformers where you've got to basically collect a whole host of tokens, collectibles and stuff like that, defeat enemies and work your way through to the end of each level. Plus it's full of loads of little mini games which you can play sort of solo as well, instead of having to play through the entire game. So you can go back and play all these silly little mini games you find throughout the main game. But let's jump straight into the reviews. Okay, the first game up is Cronostase Electric Collection, if I have pronounced that right. Now, this was released in November 2022, developed by Cronostase and published by Penguin Pop Games. Now, this is a selection of 7 different puzzle game modes, basically sort of loads of different sort of electric based sort of puzzle games. There are 350 levels to work your way through, and they're sort of based on the box pushing genre of games. Now, the modes include Light On, which is where you assemble a circuit and turn on all the lights. If you obviously mess up the circuit though, it will explode. There's Light On Duo, where you assemble circuits and you have to sort of switch between yellow and blue modes, and you can only move the same coloured circuitry basically. Now there's also Puzzle Light, which is you have to complete circuitry by swapping the position of 2 static tiles. Puzzle Light One Move, which is a logic puzzle where you must figure out how to complete the target with a single move. There's Puzzle Light Rotate, which is obviously completing circuitry by rotating tiles in place. There's Puzzle Light Slide. As you can imagine, it's sliding tiles around to get them to fit in the right place. And Puzzle Light Connect, where you move the whole circuit around as you pick up more pieces. Now, there's a lot of content in this game, like I say, a lot of levels. However, between all of the 7 game modes, they are all sort of relatively samey. However, like I say, the games cost $7.99. It's a very easy 1000 gamer score. You're looking at probably under half an hour to get the full 1000 gamer score. Something to do on the go. Like I say, it is also out on the Switch. I did play this on Xbox, but like I say, I can imagine this being a better game on the Switch, because you could have a couple of levels like on the go and stuff like that. Playable on Xbox One, Xbox Series X and S, and it does support smart delivery, and it's optimised for Xbox Series X and S with 4K resolution and 60 FPS. Obviously, because it's a puzzle game, you won't really notice, but if you like your puzzle games, you like these sort of box pushing games, then you're going to get a lot for your buck here. Like I say, it's not bad at all. Does get a little samey after a while though, unfortunately, but like I say, small bursts, can't go wrong with it. Okay, next up is HAAK, H-A-A-K, or HAAK. This is a game that the developers got in touch with us to cover, and thanks to Twitter and Elon Musk's wrecking it, I totally haven't seen this email from them, like this message. So I jumped on it this week when I finally went through like all my spam, deleted all those annoying do you want to be an NFT sort of seller sort of messages we get every day. I went through, cleared it out and found this from the developer, so I've downloaded it and it's really good. So this is a Metroidvania platformer. You basically play as mysterious wanderer HAAK, and you embark on an epic expedition across the vast cyber wasteland to find your lost brother. Now, this is a really good Metroidvania. Now, I am not the biggest Metroidvania fan, I've said this previously, but the pixel graphics on this look absolutely stunning. It just looks great. They've done a great job with the environments, with the characters, with the animations. There's like, when characters talk to each other, they've got like little headshots and stuff. It all looks absolutely great. There's a whole host of different environments to work your way through. So you're going to sort of see a whole host of different environments, from like deserted cities and stuff like that. There's a load of different skills and stuff like that you can use. Slashing, dashing, you get like a nice counter mechanic as well. You've got like a hook to traverse the sort of environments, which is cool to sort of like hook around. Sort of reminds me, I'm trying to think of the name of the game, but really, really fun, really enjoyable. Yeah, I can't recommend it enough. Like I say, if you like Metroidvanias, this is up there as one you should definitely be playing. So there's, like I say, there's loads of exploration to be had. Multitude of secrets and hidden rooms are scattered across the environments and stuff like that. There's like boss fights that are really, really cool, so you should definitely play this. And this is coming from someone who isn't normally a big fan of Metroidvanias. Now, there's a free demo on Steam. You can play it right now, or you can buy it for £13.99. Now, that's from publisher OKJoy and developer Bling Game. And I believe it's also out on the Nintendo Switch, so there's no reason not to try it. Okay, next up is Ultimate ADOM, Caverns of Chaos. Now, this is a official sequel to a game that came out 25 years ago called ADOM. Now, I've never played ADOM. I honestly never heard of the game until I played this one. So I have had a quick look about what it is, and apparently it came out basically on sort of like MS-DOS sort of Windows PCs back in sort of 1994. And it's an acronym for Ancient Domains of Mystery. Now, this is a sequel, and basically they've tried to update everything. So it's a sequel to the game. It's in the style of a traditional roguelike dungeon crawling classic, but with obviously modern improvements. There's unlimited replayability through endless procedurally generated dungeon with like countless monsters, crafting, and a vast amount of skill trees. And I didn't get on with this one. I'm not gonna lie. It's not my cup of tea. Now, I'm not the biggest roguelike fan in the sense of roguelikes, but this one plays in a different sort of way. It's more of a sort of top-down, grid-based style game. You sort of move up, down, left and right to move your character, moving into enemies, fights them. You can pick up items, use the items, stuff like that. Graphically, it's pretty simple, very cartoony graphics with like basic 3D environments. Very much reminds me of like playing like an old school style, like, I'm trying to think what the name is. It's not D&D, but you had like Dragon's Quest, and you moved the little character around the board, and you had like the doors and everything set up. It definitely reminds me of that. Now, if you're a big fan of like replayability, smashing through environments and stuff like that, and you love sort of building up your levels, this'll be an absolute great game for you. It also has a toggle between graphic modes as well, so I like that you have like the 3D mode and the top-down view and stuff like that, which is pretty nice, and like a very sort of simplified sort of old-school graphical mode. Now, there's over 380 skills across 25 skill trees, and there's also dozens of secret skill trees that you can unlock as well. Now, there's a stealth system that introduces a different way of playing, so you can sneak past adversaries and avoid conflict, or you can just run through and batter them, basically. You can basically build your sort of the way you want to play based on what there is. NPCs will react differently to like the different sort of classes, genders, races, allegiances, and stuff like that. With new quests that'll open to you, and the world may change as well based on your decisions, which is really cool. And it's got a deep magic system with several unique schools of magic and over 80 spells to choose from. So, like I say, there's loads here. Like, it's so in depth. There's tons. There's like 200 different monsters and enemies you can fight. You basically keep going and going, you die, you restart like with the roguelite. But there's these endlessly sort of regenerated like dungeons that you just keep working through, and it, like I say, the content is there. It's really good in that aspect. But I've never played the original, so I can't say how it stacks up to the original. I mean, everything seems alright. It's a bit clunky in the UI aspect on the Xbox, but overall it just wasn't my type of game. So definitely check it out if you're interested in this style of game, or if you were a fan of the original ADOM. Like I say, you may get a kick out of it. It was released in November 2022, developed by Team ADOM and published by Assemble Entertainment. Playable on Xbox One and Xbox Series X and S, priced at £14.99. And it's also available, like I say, on PC, on Steam, and probably on other places as well. It's okay. It's probably aimed at a different type of play than I am, so I don't want to like really put a downer on it. It's got some great things, a lot of content and a lot of skill trees and abilities, but it just wasn't my sort of RPG style game I'd want to play. Okay, and last up is Albacete Warrior. Now, this is described as a sort of comedic beat-em-up style game, and I hate to say this is the weakest game in the bunch on this video roundup. Now, I wanted to like this game. Like, I loved the premise of it and the art style, like the 2D sprites, the pixelated sprites, big, bright and colourful, on like 3D backgrounds, and you can sort of navigate around in like the 3 dimension. It's not just left and right, you can go backwards and forwards and stuff like that. Mix between sort of beat 'em up with platforming elements in there. You basically play as a Spanish ninja, and he comes from Albacete, Spain. If I'm pronouncing that right, I apologise. And he gets an important task given to him by his master, Paco Sensei, and he basically has to go off with his trusty companion, Pepito the chicken. And it's a silly little game, but it's just let down massively by its sort of control scheme. So the controls just aren't there for it. They're sort of delayed and unruly, and they don't work great, especially when you're having to go in the 3-dimensional sort of areas for the platforming. It just lets the whole thing down. And also the comedic satirical side of it all just didn't land with me. It felt pretty lame. Maybe because it is a Spanish game and it's been maybe sort of translated to English, I'm not sure, but I just didn't think it was that great, and it could have been better. It had a great premise, but the sort of execution was a massive letdown in the end. Now, it does have 2-player co-op, which is always a bonus, but it won't make up for the controls and the jank and the sort of movement, etc. And I couldn't recommend it. Like, I wouldn't personally recommend it out of all the games. This is the unfortunately the weakest one this time. So this came out to the Xbox Store in February 2023, developed by Phase3 and published by East Asia Soft Limited, priced at £8.39 on Xbox and Xbox Series X and S consoles, supports smart delivery, and it's optimised for Series X and S with 4K res and 60 FPS, and it's also obviously available on other consoles and Steam. But I'd give this one a wide berth. The controls just don't do it justice, and it lets down on a semi-decent premises. give it a go in the sale maybe, but until then, I'd stay away. But that's it for this video, guys. Hope you've enjoyed it. Let us know in the comments below what you think of the games I've shown today. Are there any you prefer? Are there any you've played and you think are great or think are rubbish and contradict what I've said? Leave a comment and let me know. Like I say, it's all personal opinion. Like I say, you guys might think this is the most funny game you've ever played in your life and it handles fantastic. It's just personal opinion. I try and be as honest as possible. I won't say something's great just because all these devs and publishers have sent us copies to do these reviews. It's not what it's about. I don't want to just say, oh, this game's great when it's not. But obviously, a big thanks for all of the review codes. We will do our best to cover every single game we get sent. And we're always looking for new games to do, guys. So leave us a comment down below if you've got anything you'd like to see us cover. But other than that, thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you soon for more gaming content. Bye for now.